good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I hope all is well. If you were the first time here, we are Old Guys Still Rock. I am Blair Armstrong. I am a realtor out here in Southern California, and if you want to know who I am, just look right behind me. We are Team Armstrong, Coldwell Banker. We are in the heart of Coachella Valley, so from Palm Springs to Coachella, California, we help out on luxury real estate. And then on my right, your left, where however we may be watching this, you have Brent Wright of Brent Wright Inc. Right, says there's multiple companies underneath this gentleman's name. He's been a good friend of mine for 20 years. And we decided to start a podcast about 4 months ago. And we are at episode 23 today.
Yeah.
Welcome, brother.
Thank you. And I love the Van Hagar intro. That's awesome.
Oh, dude.
From our era, right? You got Van Dave, you got Van Hagar.
Yeah. I just couldn't think of anything else, so there's probably still a little background, but I was like, what should we talk about today? Episode number 23.
Yeah.
What's the music that hits into it? And then God put on my mind right here, right now. This is what we have to do to make a stand. Little unknown fact, I've worked with a lady, actually it's Sammy Hagar is actually her uncle, and there's another lady and her mom obviously lives in Ironwood, so it's quite interesting to hear some background stories of Sammy Hagar. And once in a while he blesses us here in the desert. So one of his nephews is out here, good friend of ours, goes to our church, so kind of cool. Little background for it.
Nice.
But anyways, brother, how are you, man?
I am well.
Yeah?
Just as you said earlier, when we had some technical difficulties, we were chatting, cashing checks and breaking necks, as you said. I call it kicking tires and lighting fires. So, yeah.
What you guys will not see today is, we did have some technical difficulties, so we actually had to start recording early just to get this thing up and rolling. And we got to see a little background of what Brent Wright does and one of his other businesses. So it's very cool. A lot of transition that's happened with you. A lot of building has happened with you over the last couple months. So super excited for your journey. A lot of things going on in our world as well. As I said, I'm a realtor. Your wife is starting a great new business out in Eugene called Right Wellness.
Yeah, Right.
I'm going to have to stick some marbles in my mouth to get that going.
Yeah,
and
WWC is what we call it. So Right.
I love it.
Yep.
There you go. As long as you don't call it WWE or WWF, you will not have any copyright infringements.
Back to the cashing checks and breaking necks, right?
Right. Someone's neck is going to get broken on that one. But anyways, along with your wife, my wife has decided to expand her business. So she has a current space right now. For those of you who know El Paseo, there's a restaurant called Armando's. Her business is right next to that. And that is a woman's boutique currently. However, that's switching over to kids and gifts, and she's moving across the street to 2,500 plus square feet to make that a woman's boutique. So stay tuned. As Brent and I have talked about before, we're probably going to have to do individual now because our wives are becoming bigger than we are. In business. So we're probably going to have to do an individual podcast from Right Wellness Center or WWC, and we'll do another one from Chrissy's on El Paseo. So some cool things happen. Very blessed. Both of us will talk about how blessed we are to have these women in our life that cash our checks and break our necks. So there you go. So what's going on in Oregon, man?
Well, it's supposed to be a beautiful and balmy 58 today. Currently, it started raining about 3:13 this morning, and it woke me up, and I've been up ever since. My brain's been gone 1,000 miles an hour. I've been on fire. So got a lot done today. We had our legacy meeting of men. So if you are interested in that, and it doesn't have to be just men, but currently there's just men on there. But we every Thursday at 6:30. We meet a number of guys across the country and across the world. In fact, Dimitri will be in Greece next week for a month. And so for the next 4 weeks, he'll be joining us from Greece, so opposite time zone. So
that's really cool, dude.
Yeah, creating a legacy and meeting once a week to do so. Changing lives and bloodlines is our goal.
That's great. Changing lines and bloodlines, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you just said?
Yep. Changing lives and bloodlines.
Lives and bloodlines. Great.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad that you said that because that was my next question is for people who are interested. So you're basically talking not only about business but structures of how to leave a legacy. Is that correct?
Yeah, so not just the finance part of it, but simple things like one of the guys was struggling today with if he gets home early and he's off of his regularly scheduled program, he's struggling to understand what he's supposed to do for a half hour to an hour, and it's really thrown his family off. So we talked through like what I do. So if I come home early, I try to add value to my family. And by saying add value, meaning ask them if they need my help. Instead of me just parking my tail feathers in the chair and watching TV for an hour or a half hour or however early I am, we try to, help the family, kids, wife, whatever they need, ask, if they can make a difference in their life and help them with something they're struggling with. So, to the point of just don't come home and stir the hornet's nest up because you're home early, right?
Right.
And so we gave all of us, there were 6 or 7 of us on the call this morning. So we were all giving them feedback on what we do to make a difference and to not stir the hornet's nest up and, help and add value to our families. So that was just one simple topic.
Yeah, see, and I like that because that's what we've really been doing over the last 22 weeks. Let's introduce you. Let's get out there and touch some people that we not normally touch to or be able to touch or interact with. And now you've just offered another layer of this onion that I can go a little bit deeper and really associate with other guys or women, as you said, whoever decides to join, to enhance my life, to become better. And that is another purpose that we started this podcast is, excellence, personal excellence is the ultimate rebellion, as Andy Frisella always says. So Brett now has this group that, okay, you've watched this podcast. I really like what's going on, and I've shared this and doing some different things, which so many of you have done. Now I have another avenue to get a little bit more intimate type of relationship, right? And to really grow that. And
on that, I'll throw this out. So I offered up on my Instagram and Facebook pages about a week and a half ago that I had 3 spots open for coaching. I never mentioned that they were paid spots. I never mentioned they were free. You know how many people reached out to me?
How many?
0. Yep. So if somebody's listening to this and does need help, I will offer a half hour per week, free coaching session, and help them change their life. And so I just want to throw that out, add some value to the podcast. So
yeah, Brett, I think that's as important, and that's actually going to lead into what our topic is here pretty soon. Is people who judge almost never help, and people who help almost never judge, right? And it's kind of the same thing that you're doing for the reason I was just saying it. We have been groomed, and we've talked about this multiple times on here, to live in a silo and, hey, we'll fix it. We have to start. You don't have to. You get to decide what you ever want to do. But what we're trying to encourage you is that you're not alone in what you're going through. And what Brent is offering is like, hey, man, you've got this. I've been through life. I've lit gutters. I've been homeless. I've created great businesses. I've done all these different things. I'm here to help. And a lot of us in our nature, and especially the people that are watching this, we might be a little bit more seasoned in age. They're 40 plus, and I'm too embarrassed to go to somebody else to talk to my problems. That's why we're having these problems of people making decisions that are not only good for you, but good for your family. And let's tear the Band-Aid off of it is to, take their life or make some decisions.
We've talked about that in here. Part of the reason why we started this is because both of us had people that, in our age group that have committed suicide because they just couldn't deal with it,
Yeah. Okay. So now go down to this is open conversation. We have these topics and we get a little bit organic here, and we're not going to there's not going to be a dark cloud on this, but we're really encouraging you. If you see stuff in this episode that really touches you, do not be afraid to reach out or to leave a comment or to call us or to text us or whatever that may or be, email. We're super easy to find. We'll leave that information on the backside of this. To subscribe to our channel. As I said, to leave your experiences in comments on this, even if we put it on Instagram and stuff like that. We want to build a community, and without you being a part of this community, we can't help others. So
well,
we don't get paid.
On that note, we're not monetizing this, guys.
Yeah, that's my next thing I was going to say to you.
We're not advertising for coaching. We're not advertising for any. I'm offering a free coaching session, right? Because I want people to fill the, to be helped if they have a need. And we're not monetizing our YouTube channel or our Spotify channel or anything like that. So this is us, as you said last week, coming to counseling for each other.
Yeah, this is our therapy. Now we want you to join therapy with us.
Exactly.
So it's good. So don't be afraid. If you're a man, women, younger guy, younger girl, whatever that may be, do not be afraid to reach out. I know there is a lot of uneasiness right there. I've got friends, now I've got Palestinian friends, I've got Jewish friends, and I'm sure all of us have that acquaintance somewhere right now. It breaks my heart to see what both sides are going through right now, being scared. And I had this one Jewish friend. They have guys, you're going to know if you're Jewish, you know what I'm talking about. But they put this little saying that's in Hebrew on their front door, and it basically protects them and gives them good luck. Mm-hmm. And I had a good buddy that took his down yesterday because we're showing his house. Took it down because he was afraid that it was going to be a detriment for him selling his house. And boy, talking about, dude, I feel sorry for him, but it pissed me off that's where we've become as a society. This guy's a great dude. He's giving out to it. He has no harm. I mean, it is what it is. There's PTSD, which I'm starting to realize. I have never been in that situation. I'm not Jewish, so if you're Jewish, I'd love to hear your comments back to this, Palestinians, whatever. But it's time that we have to stop fighting and doing all these different things. And I know that you have your beliefs and whatever it is, and we're not being political on this, but holy Moses, are we going to go regress for all these back years? And the Jewish people have this PTSD that we're going to witness another Holocaust. And that's freaking sad, dude. I mean, we've come so far, and all of a sudden this little thing that has really nothing, with all the good people, again, what we're going to talk about today, all the good people are the quiet people, and all the bad people want to make all this noise and put all the good people in bad positions. That's my feeling. I'm not on a soapbox. I feel sad for these people that have to regress, and now what this is doing is forcing them back into their houses, forcing them not to contribute to society, and that's exactly what everybody wants them to do. And it's not just that nationality. It's Americans, it's black, it's whites, it's Chinese, it's Japanese. They want everyone to be segregated. And this is what another part of this program is. We don't want you to be segregated. We want you to talk to your neighbors. Yeah. We want you to help out. So, sorry about that.
And no worries. So, with that said, if you don't understand what's going on in the world, and you have interest, and you've seen something, and you don't understand, and you want an explanation, I know several theologians who would be happy to chat with you about that, to explain it, to go through it, so that way you're up to speed and have actual information that you can take action on, or not. It's up to you. But at least if you don't understand what is going on and what you're seeing in the news, and, everybody's different, but I would tell you that if you want your life to be better, stop watching the freaking news. Yeah. So, but just me. But I do have a number of folks in my stash, if you will, of people that I can reach out to or lean on, who would love to have a chat with you and explain to you the whole backdrop and the basis for what's going on, so that way you can formulate your own thoughts and your own opinions. And so just want to throw that out. Another layer of added value here.
Yeah. It's much deeper than political. I will tell you that right now. It is much deeper, and your theologians will tell you that. It is very interesting, especially when you start reading Scripture of what is revealed. So anyway, before we get back into this, I do have, and I know Brent has some stuff. We've hit episode number 23. We've gained a lot of followers, subscribers. We're starting to get comments. People are starting to recognize us from people on the street to Instagram, whatever it may be. But I want to say a couple big thank yous to some guys that have always reached out to us and said, really loving what you're doing, keep doing it. So to my Ken McCumbers, to Ken Johnson, to Chris Dubois, Aaron Klosterman of Grand Point Automotive over in my hometown of Michigan and Grand Blanc, Michigan. He's actually a third-generation automotive guy. My grandpa started this back in the 40s, radiator shop. And now it's turned into a automotive shop that they're actually now producing parts for GM.
Sweet.
So that's pretty cool. So big shout out to Aaron Klosterman if you're watching this, to Jake and Doug Fisher of Fishers and Sons. Some great things happening there. And since we're episode number 23, I got a couple people out here that love the number 23 as much as I do. Yes, Michael Jordan. But to Billy and Amy Hayes, this one's for you. And to Marita Carriaga, happy number 23. So here we go, man.
So my thank yous, I want to thank my wife. She listens religiously to every episode, is my biggest fan, my biggest supporter. My kids actually watch and listen to it as well. My wife puts it on and they ask questions, and so thank you guys for supporting me. The Vanderlinden boys, Kyle and Eric, thank you very much for always listening in. And also Andrea, thank you for listening and watching. My mom watches this, checks it out.
I love it.
She's made some super cool comments, like she wishes that she had somebody like us to listen to and to take advice from when she was younger. She would have hopefully been a better mom, she said. So she was a great mom and got me where I am today. So thank you very much. But anybody else who's out there listening, subscribing, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
I know that Joe, who's been a guest on here, listens. So thank you, Joe. And John Wagner.
Hold on real quick.
Yeah.
Jump in there. But Joe is still winning.
Yeah.
He's like one step closer to the championship, man. But just because he was on this show. But anyway, sorry about that. And then John, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
John Wagner listens from time to time. He was a guest on the show, so super grateful. I know that Caitlin and her crew listen, so thank you very much. I'm going up to see her on Saturday. Cool. We're going up to their Inlight Hyperbarics. By the way, check them out. They're in Vancouver, Washington, if you're in that area. We're going to go up there and get some training and see their vision and how it's come to light in the last 10 years. Pun intended, Inlight Hyperbarics. So
did not
tie that back. Exactly. Super grateful for all the help and all the blessings that you guys have bestowed on us.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's been a good ride, man. 23 episodes. We've connected some people that we've been connected in the past and reconnected with them, and had some great comments and some cool stuff. So I'm very excited how this is too. We have a long way to go. We're not stopping, one way or another.
And we're
going to have you join our community. We're not going to again. We don't monetize in this. It's just it's two business guys that have been through all walks of life. As we mentioned too, and Brent just mentioned again, we have some great families. I've come a long way because of my wife. I grew up differently than she did, but she's also shown me some side of life that has been pretty special over the last 3 or 4 years. It's really opened my eyes. And so now you get to see an unveiling of an onion, and a lot of work being accomplished here on these episodes. So we're going to get right into it. I know that was a long intro, but Brent and I came across this comment the other day is people who judge almost never help, and people who help almost never judge, by Andy Stanley. When you read that, and we had a small discussion about that, but when you read that, what popped up in your mind?
Well, the reason why the people that are helping never judge is because they don't have any freaking time because they're helping, right? And
That's great.
It goes with our whole mantra of this. Everything that we've talked about is get out there, help, make a damn difference. You don't have an opportunity to judge if you're busy, And so and not to judge those that are judging, because that would be, a double
Judgy.
entendre, right? So,
Don't judge us as a judge, but we're going to judge you for not doing anything.
but if you take the time to judge, which isn't bad because you have to evaluate. So, along with anything in life, if you have an objective, a goal, and then you create the strategy and then you create the measure, you have to measure it, right? So if you're judging something, you're measuring something based upon a perceived notion, a thought, an objective, a strategy, a goal. So not always bad to judge, but typically, if you're judging someone else or something else, you're likely just reflecting on how that's affecting you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so we want to know how it's affecting you. Mm-hmm. We want you to share. And then that puts you in the category of somebody who's helping. So there's not a big gap to judge, from judgment to helping. There's not a big gap to jump over.
Right.
So I would say if you're willing to evaluate a situation, then be willing to help.
I think that's a good spot, right? Because we want to judge, or we judge behind the thing to it, but it's kind of that thing that if I'm pointing my finger at you, I've got 4 more pointing back at me, right?
Yeah. Or the twig and the plank, right? So
right.
Take it back to scripture.
We go back to that. But I like what you said there. The people that are helping are too busy to be judging right now. But also in the same, because you think about that, but there's also that time that we have to be very careful about. We start helping and no one else is contributing, or we feel like no one else is contributing, and then we get frustrated. And that's what turns back into us start judging again, right? So hopefully this is a trigger for you, because what Brent just said is a real trigger for me, because I learned this from my wife as well, is that she wears her heart on her sleeve and she's always finding avenues to help people, and sometimes she gets burned. We talked about this last week about being in that the beacon of light. So kind of to carry on with this in a different message is like, hopefully this last week's message and this week's message to you while you're watching this out there is that when you start going back to that judgment thing, it's like, whoa, let this be a trigger. I'm like, I need to contribute more. Give without giving, right?
Yeah.
And let them notice, because people are going to see you do things for other people, even though that you may not notice that. And so don't worry about the loud ones or the ones pointing fingers or calling you out or the haters or whatever it's going to be. Keep doing what you're doing. Understand that not everyone's going to catch on as fast as you want them to. Some will, some won't. But we're basically encouraging you, applauding you for all the stuff that you're doing to help society get back on track. Keep doing it. And if you're having struggles, reach out to us. Definitely do not feel like you're alone. I do it. Brent does it. My wife does it. April does it. Brent's kids do it. So there's so many of us. You can go out to everybody that I read on the list. They're contributing to society, and I'm sure there's a million of you that are watching this right now if we had 1 million people, right? But just saying is, like, don't give up. They want us to give up. Don't give up. Keep becoming better. Be that light. Be that beacon. Be that inspiration. Remember, there's a generation that is behind us that is looking for guidance.
Yeah.
And old guys that still rock could go another level better, and another level better, and another level better. Andy Frisella came out with some great stuff this week. The personal excellence is the ultimate rebellion. He's got his hat. He's got some stuff behind there. He's starting a movement. We're kind of pushing that movement as well. But I really like what you said, brother, is that be very careful about becoming judgy, even though that you may be the quiet one.
Yeah, it's real easy. It's human nature. You drive down the street and somebody cuts you off, and the first thing you do, right? You judge them, right? And they might have cut you off because they're in a race to help somebody else, right? And so the judgment right there is, you never know what somebody's going through. You never know what they're dealing with. You never know, I am guilty as charged. I started waving at people and not the one finger wave, but the whole hand.
Actually waving.
Yeah. Hi guys. Yep. Have fun. Yeah. Thanks. Glad we're safe. Glad you didn't hit me. Appreciate it. Turn it around. Change in here, so it changes here, so it changes the outcome of what you do with your body and how you present yourself.
Yeah, my thorn right now, and I'm trying to get over it, is what you're doing, right? Waving, saying hi to people, opening doors, kind of going that extra, that one more mindset, right?
Yep.
When people, like you wave at people and they just stare at you with this mean look,
yeah,
I'm like, come on. But again, this is now you triggered that start. I'm like, I'm going to keep on doing it sooner. And I get more people that say hi back than don't say hi at all or acknowledge you or say thank you when you open the door. More people, I would say 98% of the people express some sort of gratefulness or some gratitude.
But it's human nature to focus on that one that doesn't, right? Just
like,
one,
right? And it makes me so mad that I get upset about it, but it's just, and it catapults into different things. I'm sure that you guys understand what I'm saying. It's like that one thing triggers you and everything starts spiraling and you start looking at everything bad, right?
Yeah, cascade for the day, yep.
God, and then you just sound like, I'm starting to become one of them, and I hate it. I hate it. Chrissy will call me on it, and I appreciate it. Like, dude, shut up. I'm like, okay, you're right.
Yeah. So a month ago, we were in Beverly Hills. My wife had to have surgery. We were down there. So we walked from our hotel to the surgery center the first day. And we were walking through these neighborhoods, super nice, and just pretty average looking neighborhoods. And we got on Zillow and we looked it up. The average price for a home in the neighborhood we were walking through is $5.5 million. So these aren't people that are poor. This is not the ghetto. It might be the ghetto of Beverly Hills, but it's not the ghetto, right? So we're walking through there and we see a bunch of people, and more often than not, people would cross the street instead of walking beside us.
Right.
Right? And we're saying hi to people and good morning, and people walking their dogs, and construction workers going into houses and fixing stuff, and service people. And very interesting times to be making a difference and not to get burned out, right? Yeah. By the end of that 3.8 or 3.4 or whatever it was mile walk, you almost were feeling a bit beat down and debilitated. Mm-hmm. Like I said hi to like 25 people and one person said hi back. But the key is that one person that said hi back made the difference for me.
Yeah.
Right?
Someone starfish again, right?
Exactly.
But I think, it's so right, Brett, that we bring this up because we talk about it. It's not just we just talk about it in this episode. We talk about it at the country clubs. We talk about it at dinner with friends. We talk about it, whatever. We talk about it through social media. It comes down to, and here's a challenge to you, is because I know that people are watching this are totally relating, and all the things that we just said over the last couple of minutes you're resonating with. I get it because I'm talking about it outside of here. So my question to you is, and again, Brett and I want to hear your comments, is when does it change? Brett and I can't change you. No one who's coming up into, one thing that I really like to is no one's coming to save us, guys. No, yeah. No one in politics. Your neighbor's not coming to save you, different things like that. So I'm not saying that we have to save ourselves, but it starts with you. It starts with me. It starts with Brent. It starts with you. It starts with our wives. It starts with our kids, our grandkids, whatever that may be. It all has a starting point. And the more people that will have a starting point that I'm done living like this, I'm done living in fear, I'm done getting angry because of the slow driver, because you don't know how to drive.
So have you ever heard of that the penny? That would you rather have a penny a day for the rest of your life or $1 million right now? Have you ever heard that?
I have.
Right, and what do most people pick? They pick the $1 million. $1 million,
right?
But the penny a day for the rest of your life is like hundreds of millions of dollars. Right, because it's compounding. Mm-hmm. And so I like to look at the one thing that you do that you feel is maybe not substantial is that penny. right? It's going to compound.
It's a compound. Just one, right? So
Just
we
one.
don't have to go say hi to 10 people or 20 people or 50 people or 100 people. Just one person. And another
Yeah.
one, and another one, and another one. It's a starfish thing today. I was actually listening to a podcast, Greg Rochelle, the other day, and John Gordon was on it. And I'm going to do this for a couple people that are on our team. But he has a book by his bed called Success of the Day. And at the end of the day, he writes down one success that he had that day.
Nice.
And what you're saying, Brent, and again, too, is again, what we like to do down here is peel back the onion, is that penny effect.
Yeah.
It's a mindset change, right?
It is.
Now I'm concentrating on that one penny. So maybe, here's just an idea for you, those out there, and this is me, just sometimes I get ideas, and Brent will get ideas. Maybe we put a penny in our pocket to remind us to make that one penny.
Oh, that's a good call. I like that trigger.
Right? Just put that penny. So when you put your hand in the pocket of that one penny, you've got to say hi to one person today.
Yep.
Just one more.
Yep.
So that's my aha moment. Thank you, Jesus, for that.
You know what's funny is like you've changed up your book. Typically, it's The Power of One More is behind you, and now it's 75 hard. And
75 hard.
But yet you're quoting The Power of One More like 5 times today, which is awesome. So
yeah. So there's different things in there. So and again, I was read this book. I'm actually going back to one more time. I've gone through it twice. Reading book the third time. Don't have this book, get this book. There's a lot of great things. And then 75 hard, that's another level. I've done the Live Hard program. That's just talking about 75 days, but we'll talk about the Live Hard program too. But that's a big journey. You did Live Hard, right?
I did 75 hard twice with my wife. We didn't do a Live Hard. Just no BS excuses. But I will tell you that the 75 hard is enough. I mean, that is a lot. And that's a game changer. So every time I'm sitting in my cold plunge and it's cold and I don't feel like being in there, I'm like, this is easy compared to 2 workouts a day. And one of them in the snow and, all of that. So it definitely pushes you to another level of, can I deal with this? And the answer is yes. The human body is an amazing thing and the human mind's an amazing thing. But the human mind is also your own worst enemy. If you let it be, it will talk you out of doing all the hard stuff and just put you back in your comfort zone every time.
Did you send me the thing about the swimming rats?
I didn't. No.
Okay. I gotta share because you just brought up a great thing because we were talking about mindset. So first of all, challenge you. It'll be challenged for everybody. Penny in the pocket. Make a difference. Just say hi to one person a day. And do that every day for the rest of your life, and you'll see the changes in it. It'll come back to you. Maybe come back financially, maybe come back personally, whatever, relationship-wise. But I promise you it'll come back to you. So put a penny in your pocket, come back, and write us and let us know at some time how that penny has changed your life. But going back to what I said to you, there was this study that they did. It doesn't matter who did it. But they put a bunch of rats into a little...
Oh, yeah, the colony. We talked about that, yeah.
They were swimming, right? And they would start drowning after 5 minutes. As soon as they started drowning, someone would come back and pick them up. Now, the next time that they stuck them in the water, they didn't stop after 5 minutes. They didn't stop after 10 minutes. They didn't stop after 20 minutes. They swam for 60 hours straight. And the theory behind it is because they knew someone was coming to save them.
Oh, wow. So they didn't give up.
So they never gave up. And they swam for 2.5 days. So the premise behind that, which has really stuck out to is just because you're having some downtime, just know that there's other people around, right? There's other people that are willing to help you, but you have to let that go. It's kind of surrender your hope into a higher power, whatever your higher power is. Ours is God, but surrender that, knowing that He will put those people in place to come and save you. Even though I said no one's coming to save us, we have to build that community that not only we're helping somebody, but someone's going to come back around and help us, right?
Yep, that's the goal.
God, I think we've got a lot of breakthroughs today, man. I just saved myself $150 today.
That's awesome.
So anyway,
So
if you guys
on
see that
that,
episode,
yeah,
it's on Instagram. It's pretty cool. I
that's
just
cool.
thought that was awesome. And this is the type of thing that we talk about. So what say you guys that are watching us on today, leave your comment on there, kind of things that you help yourself get through. What are you doing in your side of your community to make a difference? Because we need you. It's not a fun time out there. It's in all walks of life, and it doesn't matter what nationality you are or what skin color you are. No one's having fun. And I'm sure that everyone has a more weighted scale than somebody else. But if we keep playing that, we're encouraging you, and you guys talking back to us as encourages us, is that we can really build this, not to be some kumbaya thing, but if we start building community, then a lot of this other starts dissipating, because the powers that be that want us to be here, and then we become this bigger community, no longer have the power to keep us separated, and we become strong, and we become one voice, and we do exactly what God wants us to be, is to live in unison no matter where you are, to live together. So
on that note, the reason why you and I are friends, and we're doing this podcast, and all of our interactions over the last 23 years, is because I walked into your office and said hi. Because
right?
I think I don't even know. Maybe I was the first person to actually walk into your new office. I don't know. Maybe close. Who wasn't a contractor? Maybe who wasn't a contractor. I felt like I woke you up from a nap. Like you were surprised somebody walked through the door, because you were
right?
so bright and shiny new, like a new penny, right? And I walked in and introduced myself to you and said, I'm not here to beg you for business or ask for your business, but I'd like to start developing a relationship with you. And you said, if you want a relationship with me, you're going to have to come to my BNI meeting. And I went there, and I was like the fourth person there at the BNI meeting.
49 Silver Lane, River Road.
Exactly.
Right next to the Carlos Jr. I don't know if that Carlos Jr. is there anymore, but
Carlos Jr. is still there, but nothing else is the same other than the veterinary clinic. So
I bet it's a different world out there. So,
Yep.
Brother, I think that we've kind of hit a lot today.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about hours about this, but it's really going to come up to you guys that are watching this. Please share this episode. I know we talk about it all the time. If you haven't subscribe to the channel. If you have subscribed, send this out to your people. We don't want to beg you to do this, but I think too, and I told this Brent too, and this is not a call to like, hey, we'll show them. I think there's things at the topics that we get on, and this may be one of them. There's certain words that kind of spawn in social media that we kind of get shadow banned a little bit. However, we did come up. So we had a little instance, I'm going to just tell it to you. We had an instance, we had like 25, 30 views, and all of a sudden it went down to 0.
Yeah.
And it freaked me out. However, we're back up to normal back on there. So, but the point of it, what Brent said to it is, we want you to share what you're going through. We don't want to hear about another friend or someone that is, life was too much and took their life. It may be an easy route for you, but the ripple effect, not only to Brett and I, if we knew that we missed somebody, or to your family members, we need you around. So if you're struggling, put that pen in your pocket, and maybe that's your therapy, and go say hi to somebody.
I love that. That's awesome.
And we just need you. A lot of you, we need your neighbors, and we need your friends. We need you guys in small businesses that don't believe the hype, that you're in this by yourself. So, any final thoughts for you, my friend?
As always, thank you very much. Just go make a damn difference. And if you don't know how to make a damn difference, call me. Reach out to me. Reach out to Blair. We'll help you walk through that process, especially if it's just tugging on your heart and you don't know where to start. And put that penny in your pocket.
Penny in the pocket. So we're going to call that penny in your pocket. That's what we just called the new episode right there.
I love it.
Brett, how do we get a hold of you, bud?
Linktree Brent Wright. You can also just Google me. I'm all over Google, Instagram, Facebook. Got a number of opportunities there. I think my cell number I got an alert the other day that my cell number is on the black web, on the dark web. So clearly, it's easy to get a hold of me.
We have hit the mark, man. We have made enough people mad that we've gone to the dark web.
Exactly.
Not a bad thing. Brent put this out there too, and I know that we talked about this at the beginning of the episode. I'm going to let him have his limelight for his side. But to my wife, Chrissy, whew. Anyway, woo. Caught me off guard a little bit. Thank you for all your support. Keep kicking ass. We absolutely love you, what you guys are doing out there. So I don't know why that caught me. I just got to end my let moment in there. But Chrissy, thank you for everything that you've given to our family and to everything, all the life that you've been contributing. Is super excited for your new venture out there. So keep pushing, babe.
Yep. Same with my wife. Thank you very much. Keep rocking and rolling. Keep supporting our family. Yeah. We appreciate you.
Love you guys. All right, guys. We're going to put some more Van Halen on. We're going to end this on a very happy note. I don't think it was too much of a dark cloud today. But put that penny in your pocket. Subscribe to our channel. We're not making money out of this, but we need you to be a part of this community. We love you guys so much. And stay safe, but most of all, God bless. And we'll talk to you guys very, very soon.